what is up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel. And once again, we are back with another reaction video. And I know this is something I've been doing a lot of back on my old channel, and yes, I will be doing a ton of reaction videos for you guys. It might mostly fill up my channel. I don't know if I'll be doing any, gaming videos or anything like that. But if you guys want me to do some gaming videos, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try to see if I can do that. But anyway, guys, yes, we are back with another reaction video, and oh, let me clear my throat there for a second. I got way too phlegmy and too whatever. But anyway, yes, we're back with another reaction video, and guys, this is one that has been recently requested, and I am super excited to be getting into. Today, guys, we'll be doing a review, a reaction to a review on a gaming console. Granted, not a very good gaming console. And sadly, it's not AVGN yet, of course. I'll probably be getting back to those sometime soon in the near future, something else related to that. But regardless, we're actually looking at another gaming channel that has gotten really popular. And that, of course, is the YouTube channel rerez. Now, funny story, I have watched rerez videos before, mostly just their videos on just bad games, which is really funny now that I think about it, and hilarious to watch. By the way, if you guys want me to react to that part of their channel, also let me know in the comment section down below, because I would love to react to those videos, because they're just so fun to watch. And this will actually be my first time reacting to a single video by them. So, well, by a singular person that's on that channel and whatnot. But anyway, let's not waste any time, and let's jump right into the video, shall we? Okay, so while I got this recorded, I have tried to record this multiple times. The audio didn't work for some reason. I didn't have the audio set up, so it would capture the audio and not my audio also. So hopefully by this time I've actually gotten it to work and things will be going good. But anyway, yes, again, this will be my first rerez reaction video. I've already seen their channel, mostly just their Just Bad Games reviews. And again, if you guys want me to react to that, let me know in the comment section down below. So let's not waste any time and jump right into the video. So let's get started with the worst ever series, which I think this is called, with the hyperscan. So start the video in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And yeah, for some reason, this might only just be their channel, but I think other channels did it too, where they introduce chapters and stuff. Yeah, really, really weird. I don't know why they would do that. But, guess it doesn't matter. We're just gonna start the video and definitely enjoy a reaction video out of this if we can. Okay.
Hey, do you like video games?
Uh-huh.
Collectible cards?
Yep. Oh. Good catch there, man. And you caught a Pikachu.
A long time ago in the year 2006, Mattel...
Oh, yeah.
Hot Wheels entered the video...
Yeah. I forgot Mattel made this. And I know for a fact this wasn't their first gaming console, because I watched AVGN talk about Mattel Electronics Gamings, which of course they made the Intellivision and the Intella voice box, which had a bunch of voice modules in it, including one of my personal favorites, B-17 Bomber. I will never get tired of that from the Angry Video Game Nerd. Just that voice.
With a revolutionary console known as the hyperscan. The hyperscan isn't technically Mattel's first dip into console gaming. They released a system called the Intellivision way back in the late 70s. People fondly remember the Intellivision for its library, graphics, and innovative add-ons. But somehow the hyperscan has fallen through the cracks of time, forgotten and
I wonder why.
It's been a mistake. Mattel is a massive company, and they could do no harm, right? Well, folks, hold your toys real close, because we're about to enter a world of red lights, trading cards, and misery. The hyperscan, a CD-based system with some interesting bells and whistles. When you unfold its book-like design...
Oh, that reminds me so much of, when I used to open my school binder in high school. Or it was actually middle school.
Notice that bizarre ruby red platform next to the top loading disc tray?
The main core function of the entire console.
Identification or RFID scanner. This gives the console the ability to read and write to collectible cards.
Except when AVG... Oh, gosh.
Us new kids are into IntelliCards now. Simply plop an IntelliCard onto the card scanner, and you can activate save data and unlock amazing new game features. Exciting. Now,
I doubt that.
That this console came out in 2006.
Didn't even know it actually came in that big of a box.
The Xbox 360 had already been out for a solid year, and the PlayStation 3 was 1 month out from launch.
Oh, I forgot about that PlayStation 3 commercial.
Xbox 360 and PS3 were known for establishing high-definition gaming for players across the world. Whether utilizing Blu-ray discs, online gaming, or featuring large storage media, they were truly the next big step in console gaming. But the hyperscan? It was standard definition.
I used to have systems like that that had those AV cables.
Regular old CDs, a format long ditched by home.
And yeah, no digital discs, just one physical copy of the disc.
The Xbox 360 or PS3, but that doesn't matter as long as playing games on it is responsive and fun. So let's turn it on and have a look.
All right.
We're all ready to go and play with the hyperscan. We've got a copy of X-Men in there, a bunch of cards ready. So
Very weird disc tray, actually.
Well, this hyperscan is broken. We heard this might actually be a problem, but no worry, folks. We actually have a whole other hyperscan.
No! Yeah, why would you?
Finally, the system turned on and the game is loading. This is taking a little while, but shouldn't be much longer, right?
Oh, poor sweet rerez. You have no idea how bad the load times for the hyperscan are. Mostly considering, I remember hearing AVGN talk about this too in his 12 Days of Christmas video, or how he pronounced it, that the load times were really, really bad. And considering for this game in particular, the load times are horrendously bad. But I'm pretty sure he can handle it. Though I doubt that, considering he made a series called The Worst Ever series, and this is on that.
How has a minute passed and the system is still not done?
Yeah.
How longer could it possibly be?
It gets worse.
It's still hanging on, but we're almost there. And here it goes. There's the hyperscan logo. And there's the logo for Marvel. And there's the logo for the company that made this game.
Appropriate title for that company. Oh.
That was 2 minutes. 2 minutes of
just
loading
2 minutes.
Intro logos. It didn't even start up the game. It took forever to load this.
Forever!
I'm not making this up. Directly after the loading screen, this system started to make this strange noise. It sounded like this.
You sure that's not the TV you hooked it up to?
And then the console died. It refused to read discs. Well,
Wow.
consoles before we even introduced this game. That's a worst ever record. Turns out hyperscans are very prone to failure, and not just the optical drives, which are really bad. Even the composite AV cables.
Just like the Atari Jaguar.
Why, might you ask? Isn't it easy to replace them? Well, no, because on the hyperscan, the AV cables are permanently attached to the body of the system.
Yeah.
If for some reason
I hate that when it happens, when it's AV cores just stuck to the console and you can't remove them.
Tech know-how to open this thing up and re-secure working AV cables. If you have a broken hyperscan, it becomes a hyper doorstop. Every hyperscan system originally came boxed with a console, a game, some of those fancy scannable cards, and one controller. I've used many a controller throughout the years on rerez, but none have been more questionable than this. The hyperscan console has a USB port. I've seen it. It's right here. But they didn't choose to use that port for control.
Why is there a USB port on there if it's using if it's using that port as for the controller?
I haven't seen one of these in a long time. Let's do some math. This console was released in 2006. This port was designed in 1987.
Wow.
They use a 19-year-old primitive input like this. If they were trying to save money, I could understand that, but the USB port is on the system anyway, so why not use it? But maybe it doesn't matter. What kind of input it has...
I'm probably going to look that up, why there's a USB port on the hyperscan.
It has a variety of buttons.
Ooh, boy, that controller does not look good.
Triggers that are awkwardly placed, and a selection of face buttons that feel like...
Let's say, because the button, like, thing on there is kind of like the Xbox, but no, that just looks worse.
You have a thumbstick, and that's going to cause problems later on. The only thing I can't explain is what the USB port actually does. It's never used for anything at all. And now, after having seen all of the hardware trouble that we've encountered and knowing just how poor this controller is, you would have to assume that the core function of reading cards off of the system, this console's sole unique feature, would at least be in a usable state. Well,
yep.
Here, you tell me if it works.
Yeah, considering in AVGN's review of this, he said for later games you would have to hold down the card to make it scan properly. Yo, put another system on there, dude!
Okay, we finally found a console.
No, you bought 3 of them? Okay, this is basically like AVGN when he bought a second Jaguar console. But rerez, you took it to a whole other new level by buying 3 hyperscan consoles. I'm a little surprised that you actually found a hyperscan console that works. I'm surprised. He is never going to live that down, I'll tell you that much. Never going to live down that he bought 3 hyperscan consoles.
Yippee. Let's get into our first
Yippee.
original packing game for the hyperscan, X-Men.
You know, I'm getting a much clearer view of this disc now. It's a pretty bland disc, actually. You know, just a boring black background. But I'll give it some credit. There's some actually pretty decent artwork on this disc. That's literally the one thing I will give the hyperscan. That it actually has beautiful artwork on the disc. And considering it's Wolverine, one of the best X-Men in the franchise. Or more or less, the comics, not the TV series or the movies or anything like that. Still an awesome character, though.
Oh, right. Like you saw before, loading is a massive problem here. And for the sake of your sanity, we'll be cutting the many, many loading screens you have to
good.
into actual gameplay.
Sadly, AVGN did not do that.
Just keep in mind that more than half of your time playing this game is spent waiting for things to load. Anyway, yeah, this is a bare-bones traditional one-on-one fighting game through and through. And while it is nice to see...
Oh, yeah, the character models were not the best.
Like Omega Red, the bulk of the whole experience is...
Yeah, especially Lady Deathstrike.
You know how fighting games typically start off with you selecting...
Yeah, sadly, this game does not have that.
Enter the cards. That pack of IntelliCards we got all fresh and new with the system, well, these cards are not useless. In fact, they are essential to playing this game. If you happen to lose these cards, the games will not function.
Considering how small they are and flimsy, they'll easily be lost.
Is a character card. We happen to only get 2 characters in the box, so that means we will only be able to play with...
I guess I would rather play as Wolverine than Lady Deathstrike.
Lady Deathstrike. Okay, we've scanned our fighter, now let's get into the game, and... well, these...
Yeah, they're bad.
I mean, peddling lackluster 2D graphics 3 whole generations into 3D consoles. This is shocking. And what the heck is all that loading for? Technically, the hyperscan is more powerful than the original arcade hardware used for X-Men Children of the Atom.
What? Oh, come on!
Look at the difference. What possible excuse could they have for making something this shoddy? So it looks bad, everything is locked behind cards, and you can spend an eternity waiting to play. But once you're into the game, surely it must play good, right? Right? Imagine, if you will, a fighting game.
Yeah, clearly the attacks are perfect if they're missing your target.
No logical sense at all. AI that is just as scary.
Oh, what do they do to my boy Juggernaut?
X-Men on the hyperscan. But that's only half of the story. Everything you do in this game earns you experience. After each round that you complete, you
I'm
scan
sorry,
the system and build up your character's stats and level. That makes the character cards also memory cards. Kinda cool, right? And to add to the fun, each time you want to access a training level, change a character, modify a fight, or attempt a finishing move, well...
Oh, boy.
Get up out of your seat, walk over.
Oh, come on!
And clumsily scan it as fast as you can. Because in some cases, this can be timed. The hyperscan is too easy to run around while you fumble with its scanner. If you are too slow...
What the frick is that portal doing there?
They could have easily put a card scanner on the controller, but instead...
Clearly, they did not have the right design for the controller to have a scanner on it.
Controller to stick your card into, which doesn't even hold the card up.
Oh, great job, Mattel.
Incredibly easily. This whole experience with this one game is daunting. An epic force of poor ideas and concepts rolled into one. But this was only the game that was included in the box. They sold other games with their own booster.
Oh yeah, I can see there's 2 other Marvel games, so those will be interesting.
Money-grabbing mechanic. Let me make this totally clear. The game disc, this CD right here, has all of the game data on it. The IntelliCards serve only to unlock these features. So, for a fighting game like X-Men, the cards serve as a sort of physical lockout, preventing you from exploring the full game. It's basically physical DLC. My nightmare.
Oh no!
If you want to play with more of the game, you need to buy booster packs. Random collections of cards you may or may not have already owned, accumulating tons of...
So basically, like their toys that they sell, it's basically accessories that are completely unnecessary. The fact is, I'm glad the Mattel didn't continue on becoming a game company and decided to stay as a toy company. Sad thing is, their first game console did so good, I can see why they quit after their second console, because it was so much worse. God. Also, I like how he listed this part of the video as physical DLC.
Doubles, triples, and quadruples just for the chance to get something you actually want. Hey, that sounds familiar. The hyperscan was way behind the curve in lots of ways, but when it came to loot boxes, boy...
Oh, loot boxes.
Purchase pack after pack, hoping for a specific fighter or a move for a fighter you already own. But maybe you never get that card and end up instead with a bunch of these irritatingly dumb training levels.
Wow.
What is this?
Throwing Sentinel helmets. Great training level.
And of course, cards aren't compatible with other games. Each title requires its own set. The X-Men game alone has over 100 cards.
Oh, come on!
It contains only 6 cards. Do you comprehend how many packs you'd have to buy for a chance to get everything you need to play the game fully? It's an endless rabbit hole you keep spiraling down because you're already invested, so you may as well buy one more pack to make that game better. Just another one, and another, and another, and another.
Wow.
You could spend hundreds of dollars on a single complete game. Even if you could collect every single card and therefore get the most full experience of what the game has to offer, X-Men is simply a terrible experience.
Oh, that hit detection is so bad.
Lag is atrocious. It feels like I'm screaming to a friend in another room what buttons to push. Hey, Adam! Push the B button!
Boom, boom.
His face! Yay!
But did the developers just make a bad game, or is the console to blame? Well, let's find out with our next game, Marvel Heroes.
Oh boy. Oh, that title screen.
Complete mess. You have cringe-inducing visuals and poorly dialogue.
Oh! Yeah, I'm gonna need a minute. Oh. Yes, it's safe to say that the character models in this game look way worse than the ones in the X-Men game. It's kind of like, you know how people would make claymation videos on YouTube sometimes, which I commend so many people for making, like, really good claymation videos, because it's kind of a dying art form now that I think about it. Because there's this one I watched that was a horror one that was really scary and creepy, but in a good way. This is like bad claymation. No, it's actually more like bad claymation mixed with Play-Doh. That's basically what we got right here. Also, Whirlwind Did the game developers, like, 3-year-old or 5-year-old come up with names for villains in this Marvel Heroes game? Considering this should be a Marvel's Avengers game, not Marvel Heroes. Must have been a licensing issue there at Marvel, I'll tell you that.
Encapsulated in shoddily scraped together comic book sequences. All of this is done in an attempt to produce some kind of reason for everything going on. None of it flows and none of it works. Unlike X-Men, this isn't a fighting game, but instead it's a platformer side-scroller beat-em-up. The cards are used in a totally different way here, but somehow it's worse than the X-Men game. Look, you can get Wolverine in X-Men and play through his whole campaign. All you need is his character card. But in Marvel Heroes, you might have a character card for the Hulk, but you may not have his story card.
Story card?
Exactly alike, but they don't work the same way. Here is how that works. If you've got a story card, congratulations! You can play whatever that story is.
Oh, Hulk's story is he goes against a badly designed version of Ultron.
Mindless enemies being tossed at you with 2 smaller bosses until you beat a main boss. Boring. If you don't have a story card, though, you can still play the game by making your own story. Kinda. Get out your pack.
Then what's the point of having the story card?
Character, pick an area, use an atmosphere, throw in some villains or bosses, and there you go. Your own custom content. Sound fun? It's not.
Oh, that is such an awkward punch from the Hulk.
Ever makes sense. Without the tiniest touch of story, it's just bland design.
Why is he punching like that?
The areas always look dull and uninspired. Now, we had a booster pack, and luckily, we got an atmosphere card. But all it did was turn everything to night, which just looks like the
wow! Great atmosphere card!
The controls are just as bad as in X-Men.
Why is there an energy whip coming out of Daredevil's cane?
Jumping from window to window with the Hulk looks bad and sounds worse. No matter what character you play as, nothing ever feels right. Captain America has a section where he needs to climb up trees, and honestly, look at
this. You've got to be kidding me.
The trees look like they're part
the whole level looks like a background picture.
It's that whole random stage creation thing that is inexcusable. We used an area card with the Thing from Fantastic Four, and we were instantly loaded into a level that was broken.
Wow.
For half an hour to find
great!
To get past
broken levels in a bad game on a bad console.
Worked. Nothing.
Honestly, I expected that, actually.
Beat this stage. Soulless and broken random mission generators are one thing, but when you're charging for the cards that make this random system work, when it really doesn't, that's when you're ripping people off. This has seriously got to be one of the worst games I've ever seen sold.
You can safely say it's one of the worst Marvel licensed games. How can Marvel, like, sign off on something like that?
Seemingly new IP produced exclusively
okay.
I was immediately scared. Bear witness as we...
Alright, so, interesting thing about this one. I know you guys are probably going to hate me for saying this, but this game right here is the only decent game on the hyperscan. You'll see it a little bit, but I'll try to explain what this game is. So, you know the game Clay Fighter, right? With the claymation characters, and they're fighting for ultimate supremacy. It's like the second time I've said claymation in this video. Well, basically, that's what this game is, except it's 2D animated, and it's the only decent game on the console. What's weird is there's no more of that. That's something I would like to see more of in gaming. You know, 2D animated like beat-em-ups or fighting games or brawlers, something like that. Like claymation, it's a dying art form. And that's the second time I've said that in this video. You know, never mind, we'll just move on. But, yeah. Surprisingly, this is the only decent game for the entire console.
Enter into the Interstellar Wrestling League. Another one-on-one fighter. This looks a little confusing, so let's have the game tell us what the plot is about.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Idaho Jones.
Forgot there's creepy stuff like that in this game.
For the Interstellar Wrestling League. I've sent a message to all wrestlers in the galaxy. Who is the biggest? Who is the baddest? Who is the meanest? Who bakes the tastiest pies? No, strike that last one. There can only be one king of the ring. Who will it be?
Yeah, you know, I might regret what I just said earlier before. Feels kind of weird that they didn't do, like, a 2D animated opening intro, just went with still images. Like, where exactly did they find these still images, or did they actually make them? Yeah, also, these little silhouettes right here, not the best looking ones, now that I think about it, re-looking at this. Also, who's that guy on the end? What is that, a freaking Freddy Krueger Care Bear something? Or a Freddy Krueger pig? No, now that I think about it, it's Piggy from the Roblox game. Which I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't know what I'm talking about. Probably don't even know what Roblox is. That's how I felt the same way, but it's a fun little app to get onto. It's really fun. The hyperscan is not fun. Yeah, let's just continue on. Ah!
It's like watching a slideshow about what the cutscene might actually look like when they were done the game. They didn't even clear this potato guy's cutout properly. That's just a bad Photoshop. But this title
also, why does he have claws?
It's the only game not created by the company that developed the other games on this console. Interstellar Wrestling League was made by Digital Eclipse. Now, if that name sounds
I have heard of that company,
because they've been responsible for some really great titles.
Yeah, I actually do have these two collections on my PS4.
On their only
And it does seem like the load time is actually better. And the hit detection looks like it's much faster.
It's not that good. You gotta hand it to Digital Eclipse. This may in fact be the best game on the console. But don't think for a moment that this means that Interstellar
Seems like it.
is actually good. It simply proves something that I suspected about the hyperscan from the very beginning. The console is capable of delivering a half-decent experience.
Sort of
It
capable.
has less input lag, making it far easier to control than its cursed brethren. It's not perfect, frankly it's terrible, but at least when you push a button, the character on screen reacts appropriately. And as for loading, yeah, it still has a lot of loading screens, but they seem much faster than anything else you'll play on the hyperscan. So it's got some things right, sure. But where it fails hard. The game is virtually identical to X-Men. You'll need multiple cards and booster packs to get more characters and basically complete the game. But where this game dips just a bit below X-Men is in its ability cards. During a match, a blow-up referee will show up that...
Oh, I forgot about the inflatable referee.
Fight. You'll need to pull out a card that grants your character some ability and place it down. Failure to do this results in your opponent gaining an ability that they can use against you, leaving you with nothing. So you better hope that you happen to have a card nearby. Oh, looks like I don't. Guess I need to go out and buy more booster packs.
Oh boy. Oh jeez.
Before we move on, let's dip back into the world of licensed.
Yay, another Marvel licensed game. Joy.
Toys are us exclusive, so it's gotta be good, right?
Nope.
Even the console knows it's not good.
Extra card in the game box. This means nothing. Now, unlike the other games, you don't actually need to worry about character cards. Well, I mean, you do. You should have at least one character card, and that card should be Spider-Man.
Yeah, because considering it's a Spider-Man game, that's the only character card you really need.
So don't lose this card. Overall, this is a strange game.
Wait.
Platformer, but has enclosed missions.
Was that loading screen... Did it have a still image from one of the Spider-Man films? More specifically, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films? So not only is this another Marvel licensed game, but it's a movie licensed game too! A double package of crap. Great. And the sad thing is, it was a bad-looking still image from one of the films. Might have been Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 3.
That are small chunks of New York. There are a variety of stages to choose from, but you can't play all of them because most of these levels are physically...
Wow!
You'll need to go out and buy a bunch of booster packs to find
Oh,
them.
and Black Spider-Man is also in this game.
Isn't that cool? You just bought a game disc, brought it home, and now you need to go back out and collect a whole bunch of useless cards at random for the chance to play all of these really crappy levels. Woo-wee! Mattel was onto something real cool here. And trust me, none of these levels are worth purchasing extra cards for. They consist of
Oh yeah, the levels look bad.
ridiculous tasks that seem to have
And also Spider-Man poops out sparkles when he collects items in the game. Joy!
But for the ones you can complete, does delivering pizza sound like fun? How about Spider-Man playing firefighter? Spidey doesn't have water on him, so I guess he'll just shoot his spider webs at the flames and... Oh,
yeah, it does work.
Actually works.
Why did it just say flypaper?
To pieces, Spider-Man is a junior city architect and is quick to solve the crumbling problems by shooting...
Why does it keep saying that?
...walls, which actually seems to hold the building together. For real. If you ask me, seems the game designers got really lazy and could only think of Spider-Man shooting web at things as a game mechanic.
Oh, there you go, you did it.
We do see some other levels, like this one, where there's a blimp and
Oh,
saving people before
no.
So of course, they perfectly
You really couldn't put them on Spider-Man?
But, don't worry, you still get to face off against Spider-Man's most intelligent and ruthless foes, like Dr. Octopus, whose evil scheme that Spider-Man must thwart seems to be... throwing artwork out of a museum that Spider-Man needs...
Wow.
Carefully.
Great gameplay!
Really all that illegal?
Not really.
Wouldn't you just get a fine or charged or something? Couldn't you have just, I don't know, dealt with the security guards? Did Spider-Man really need to go out of his way to take care of this museum thing? Seriously? By this point, folks, I think you can see that the hyperscan is a hyper wreck. But we've got one more game to wrap up the whole library of this console. That's right. There are only 5 games that were ever
just like the Virtual Boy's library of games. And I know for a fact the last game is Ben 10.
Just a couple of months on store shelves. But I digress. Time to play Ben 10.
Yeah.
Into a video game on a console.
Great. Just glad it's not the Ben 10 remake on Cartoon Network. You know, I don't know what honestly would be worse. Having to play through all this console's library of games, including Ben 10, or have to sit through the horrible reboot that was on Cartoon Network. Yeah, really not great that Cartoon Network started rebooting all the classic cartoons, especially Teen Titans Go. I freaking hate Teen Titans Go so much.
Brace yourselves. This is one licensed property.
Well, at least the loading screen's the Omnitrix, so that's a plus.
The original TV series is about a boy who has the ability to morph into...
And good that this is one of the games that's actually based on the good Ben 10 cartoon.
Scan it to turn into whatever is on the card. It's a simple idea, and I think anyone could get behind it. Heck, even I think it sounds pretty interesting. Ben can turn into fun aliens and players can collect the alien cards. But that's not what they did. They somehow made it more complex. Not only are there alien cards, but...
How do you mess that up as a concept for the card game?
Mods attack, mods defense, mods
what? Whoa, hey, whoa, what?
Are you kidding me? Why did you need so many? They somehow found a way to make it so frustrating and confusing to know what cards do what at any given moment that you don't want to bother using any of them at all. But how does the base game play?
Oh boy.
It's a platform.
Oh no! I forgot this looks bad!
Move left or right.
This is like a bad Flash game.
Do all of these things. Ben 10 has the most input lag from all of the games I've
played.
We're
no.
a good 1.5 seconds from pressing the jump button to actually seeing a character jump. But time delays
what is that?
aren't your only problem. Ben
Not a
10
tentacle
has
monster,
the
I
worst
guess?
loading times
Oh no,
too.
not a tentacle
But we're
monster.
not just talking about loading between levels here. We're talking about the one thing that Ben should be able to do on the fly.
Oh, wow. That's how you use the cards?
Seems to be incapable of playing the game
Great.
and scanning a card at the same time. So when you are given a chance to change, which requires you to stand on a platform, the game has problems and will lock up for a moment.
Wow.
And that's not even the end of it. To make that frustrating experience even worse, once you've found some way to get the card to actually be scanned by the console, the game immediately freaks out and starts blasting a loud alarm for you to remove the card. All of this, by the way, requires you...
Also, it's the color red, which would mean that he shouldn't be able to use it unless it recharges.
Because it's gonna get worse. It's a totally broken experience from start to finish. The levels are mostly stupid obstacle courses with sparse...
Oh, even Ben has awkward punches. Great.
You're going to be falling to your death a lot. So, by this point, you'd probably think the game's only saving grace is that you can have free will to change up the levels as you want, with whatever characters you have in your deck, right? Right? Well, no. We got to a level where whatever
wow.
Ben always turned into the same alien. And they explained it away with this ridiculous exposition from his grandpa Max saying that the machine is kind of busted, you know, like the hyperscan.
How appropriate.
I really think we had to...
Yeah, also, since he's accelerate in this level, shouldn't that mean he should go a little bit faster than his normal run speed? And yeah, I know for a fact that accelerate is a pun on acceleration. Haha, yeah, Cartoon Network is funny. They try to be. God. I keep forgetting that this one was the worst out of all of them. Because I said before, it looks like a bad Flash game.
To be this blue and black alien thing, but it had no special abilities that we could see that made the level any easier. When it turns back into Ben, you can finish the tasks with no problem.
Then what's the point of the alien cards?
Collecting all of these cards when they don't even do what they're supposed to do when you scan them. That's the point of this entire console, isn't it? I've seen plenty of poor quality systems, games made to scam and steal money from people, rip-offs that trick customers into buying something that isn't what it's...
Those will be interesting to check out.
With the hyperscan, you're looking at Mattel, an enormous company that actually made a console in the past that people...
And was actually a much better console than the hyperscan.
The hyperscan
So don't know what went wrong.
A total slap to the face of anyone who dared buy this hunk of junk. If it's not breaking down, scanning the cards improperly, or struggling to play discs, it's controlling badly and putting you in a constant state of rage
Great.
like no other console before it. So heed my warning, friends. That shiny, glowy red ring seems to be welcoming and enchanting, but hidden underneath all that plastic is a vicious
There you have it, guys. That was my reaction to Rerez's review of the hyperscan. Yeah. Is it safe to say that the hyperscan is way worse than the Virtual Boy? Is it safe to say that? Because I completely agree with that. At least the Virtual Boy tried to do something with its games, especially for the VR and 3D stuff that would go with it. This system just sucked. Mostly considering it had 5 games and they were all terrible. Except one, the Interstellar Wrestling League, that was decent game at least. And it was from a really great, like, toy company. And I can understand completely why they stopped being a gaming company after that. Because I couldn't imagine how much their third system would have been way worse. Just saying. Oh, again, if you guys do want me to react to more Rerez, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want me to check out their Just Bad Game series, also let me know that, because it would be fun to do reactions to those videos, because those reviews are hilarious. But, other than that, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and be sure to click that notification bell to never miss a new video. Trying to do new content for my channel. Hope you guys are enjoying it so much. It feels so great to be back, and I really hope you guys are loving it. But until then, I will see all you awesome fans later.